everyone, my name's Caitlin and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. Today I am very excited to be doing a author spotlight video for another one of my very favorite authors, and that is the Queen of Kissing Books, Pepper Basham. I am blown away by the way she can so amazingly write both historicals and contemporaries. I have read all of her books that are out to date and absolutely loved them, and I just wanted to give you a quick intro to her books. So I'm going to start with the historicals, and these are not exactly in chronological order from when they were published. It's just this is the order I put them in. I do have some physically, some I do not, so I'll be putting pictures up on the screen, and I do have notes here to make sure I don't forget any of them. So you will, you might see me looking down at the notes. If you do, that's why, just to make sure that I don't forget any of them. So the first series that I'll be talking about is her Penned in Time series. The first book in that series is called The Thorn Bearer, which just re-released. This was actually her debut novel. It just re-released in May of this year. It's now 10 years old. So this is the new cover. And yeah, this series is just beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful. This particular book, trigger warning, there is mentions of and memories of, it's not graphically detailed, but we know that sexual assault has happened to the heroine, and we know that it was incest. So something to be aware of. But the story is beautiful. The faith is beautiful. I just love this book so much. It is in 1915. The characters are going from North Carolina to England on the Lusitania at the time it sinks. So yeah, there's a lot of action going on. The World War I is happening in this book. So there's a lot going on, and it is a powerful, powerful series, and I highly recommend it. Book 2 is The Thorn Keeper. And this book has not been re-released yet with a new cover, but it will be soon. Fun story about this book. I wanted to read it physically, but at the time I was trying to find a print copy. It was not actually available to purchase a new copy for whatever reason. I don't know, some glitch on Amazon or something. So I was looking for used copies. I actually found this one that ended up coming all the way from Northern Ireland. And yeah, so I think that's pretty cool. It was actually from a library in Northern Ireland, library discard. So I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, but I love this one. So this is about Catherine. Catherine is the sister of Ashley, who was the heroine in The Thorn Bearer. So this is her sister Catherine, who has a very sordid past, and this is her story, her love story with a young doctor named David, who is just fantastic. He's one of my favorites of Pepper's heroes. And then book 3 is called The Thorn Healer, and that one will also be re-released at some point. I'm assuming this year. I do not yet know the new cover, so here is the current cover. And this book is actually about David's sister, Jessica. So yeah, I loved this one as well. This whole series, you just cannot go wrong. Okay, next up we have the My Heart Belongs in the Blue Ridge series, which starts with Laurel's Dream. This is the original cover that I have. It has now been re-released with a new cover, but this was the original, so that's what I have, so that's what I'm showing. This book, again, is beautiful, delightful, just sweeps you away to the Appalachian Mountains and the people there, and it's beautiful. If you love Christie, you will love this book especially. It's fantastic. Then book 2, which is actually about one of Laurel's brothers, and Jonathan, the hero from this book, his sister Cora. So The Heart of the Mountains is about them, and this is the cover because I don't own it physically. And that one is just beautiful. They are actually both veterans of World War I, and their story is just fabulous. I loved it so much. And then we have book 3, which is Hope Like Wildflowers. And this is about another of Laurel's siblings. Her name is Kizzy. And she was mentioned in books 1 and 2, but we didn't actually see her until her book finally came out last year as book 3. And her story is just beautiful. It's just absolutely stunningly gorgeous. An incredible story of God's redemption and grace. It's just blew me away. It's absolutely incredible. This story made me cry, and that rarely happens. So yeah, highly recommend the whole series. Then we have a standalone novella that's actually Pepper's only World War II story, and it is called Facade. And yeah, so it's World War II. It's about a woman who goes undercover as a spy temporarily. It's a great, great story. So then we have another historical novella. This one is set in 1913 at the Biltmore Estate in Asheville, North Carolina, and it is called Between Stairs and Stardust, and it is actually a Cinderella retelling, and it is so cute and sweet and whimsical and fun and just delightful. Then we have Hope Between the Pages, and this is a dual timeline novel, and it's about Clara in the present day and then actually an ancestor of hers in the past, and it is just beautiful. This is a love letter to books and the people who love them, and it might make you shed a tear or two, but it is just such a absolutely stunningly beautiful book. I can't recommend it highly enough. And then we have The Red Ribbon, which is part of the True Colors Crimes series, which is actually, and this one is actually based on a real massacre that occurred in Carroll County, Virginia, where Pepper is actually from. That occurred in 1912. And yeah, so she took that story and then wrote a romance for these two characters, Ava and Jeremiah, and they just have the sweetest romance in the midst of all of this stuff. And yeah, it was such a great read. I loved it so, so much. Okay, and then of course we can't forget the Freddie and Grace mystery series, which starts with The Mistletoe Countess, is book 1, which is my absolute favorite. And then we have The Cairo Curse, which is book 2, where they end up in Egypt and have to solve a mystery there. And then book 3 is called The Juliet Code. And in that one, they finally make it to their honeymoon in Venice. And there's another mystery there for them to solve. And yeah, I just love Freddie and Grace so much. They're just so fun. And yeah, if you like the TV show Heart to Heart and you want a historical version of that, you will love this series. It feels has very much Heart to Heart vibes in a pre-World War I setting. So yeah, highly recommend. Okay, now we're on to the contemporaries. So the first ones I will talk about is the Mitchell's Crossroads series, which starts with A Twist of Faith. And I just absolutely love this story. This is a gender-flipped, sort of loose retelling of Pygmalion, which is also My Fair Lady, and is about Adeline, who is a speech-language pathologist, and Reese, who is a dairy farmer. And he has an opportunity to apply for a job, like more of a corporate representative type job in the dairy industry. And he needs help to try to soften his Southern accent, to get, in preparation for potentially getting this job. So he hires her to help him, and she comes there and meets the Mitchell family, who are just incredible. I love them so, so much. And yeah, this book is just a delight. I loved it so much. It has everything. The audiobook is phenomenal. Chef's kiss. Absolutely highly recommend it. And yeah, if you read this book, you will understand #light my fire. It is one of my favorite scenes of all time. So yeah, highly recommend that one. Book 2 is called Charming the Troublemaker. And this is about one of Reese's sisters. Her name is Rainey, and a colleague of Adeline's, Dee's, from the first book. And yeah, it's definitely a bit of an enemies to lovers story, and it is such a fun read. Then we have A Match for Emma, which is about Reese's other sister, Emma, which, as you can guess, it is a retelling of Jane Austen's Emma. So it is a friends to lovers story, and it is lovely. Absolutely loved it. So highly recommend that series, and I know that there is at least one more book that will be coming at some point in the future. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. And then we have the Pleasant Gap series, which book 1 is Just the Way You Are. This is actually the first book that I ever read by Pepper back in 2018. It's the book that got me hooked on her books, and I just love it so much. It's so good. So good. So highly recommend that one as well. And then we have book 2 in that series is called When You Look at Me. And this one is just, oh my goodness. Talk about tender heroes. Henry, this guy right here. Oh my word. If you like tender, gentle, sweet heroes, you need this book. He's the best. Okay, and then there are a few standalone contemporaries that she has as well. The first one is called Second Impressions, and this is a loose retelling of Pride and Prejudice, and it's set, I believe, if I remember correctly, I believe it is set in Bath, England, and it is very sweet and very fun. And then it is a standalone, but it is also connected to Second Impressions, is Jane by the Book. This is one of my favorites. This is about Titus, who is a mystery writer, and Jane. And Jane is the woman that he meets there in Bath, and she like becomes his muse. So we get to see kind of a novel within a novel in this story as he is writing his mystery novel, and Jane becomes a character in his mystery novel. There's also a bit of a historical mystery that they are trying to solve throughout this book, and it is just delightful. I love this one. Another fun little note about this book, I am actually wearing this cold shoulder shirt today in honor of this book, because in the book, Titus really enjoys it when Jane wears cold shoulder shirts, and yeah, it's very funny. Like, his reaction to it is very funny. So I thought that was fitting. Okay, and then we have a Christmas novella, which many of Pepper's books have Christmas in them, but she only has 2 that are actually Christmas novellas. So this is the first one, and it is called The Christmas Clue to Finding You, and it is lovely. I enjoyed it so much. So much fun. There's a scavenger hunt. There's a guy in a kilt. It's hilarious and delightful, and I highly recommend it. And then, of course, we have the Skymar series, or Skymar series, however you pronounce it. Either way is correct. That starts with Authentically Izzy. Book 2 is Positively Penelope, and book 3 is Loyally Luke. And these books are largely told, it gets progressively less with each book, but Authentically Izzy is the most, but is told in epistolary format, which means letters, emails. In this case, it's mostly emails and text messages. But yeah, I love it so much. If that kind of format is not your thing, or it's not working for you, I would say try the audiobook, because the audiobooks for these are phenomenal. Absolutely amazing. Highly recommend. So yeah, definitely give this series a try. Now, as a companion to that series, there is a novella that is in the Mistletoe Season collection, along with a story by Sheila Roberts and a story by Kathleen Fuller. There's a story called A Mistletoe Prince that is a companion novella. The brother is actually, the hero in this book is the brother of the heroine in Loyally Luke. So that's how it ties in, and we see a lot of the characters from the series as secondary characters in this story, and it was lovely. Okay, and then her newest release at the moment I'm filming this, which is the very end of June, it's still the most current release, is Some Like It Scott. I absolutely adored this one. It was delightful. I just loved it so much. This released in April, And yeah, I highly recommend that you check it out. And on July 1st, we have the Highland Heist, which is Freddie and Grace book 4. And in it, I know they go to America for a short time to visit her family, and then they go to Scotland. So I will be receiving a copy of this book very, very soon. So I'm planning to read it in July, and I cannot wait to be back with Freddie and Grace. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. And then on October 14th, Pepper will be releasing her first ever Regency, and that is Sense and Suitability, and this is the cover. And I just can't wait. I cannot wait. I love Regency. I love rom-coms. I cannot wait for Pepper's take on Regency. So I'm very, very excited. Okay, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to know if you have read any of Pepper's books or if any of these interest you. Yeah. Oh, also, one side note that I should mention, there is a marriage of convenience in the Mistletoe Countess. So there is a fade to black scene in here that is not, in my opinion, is not descriptive, was not too much for me, but be aware of that because I know everyone's standards are different and feelings are different on things. So just want you to be aware of that. I forgot to mention it before. Okay, that's all for this video now. And yeah, let's chat in the comments below, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching.